Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to be with you today, although remotely, because unfortunately I was not able to make it to Bulgaria on the occasion of this conference. You know Business Europe, we are the European Confederation of Private Enterprises, and we are also a social partner organization at European level. The field of posting of workers is very important to us, and we've been over the last years following with a lot of interest and also trying as much as possible to bring the voice of European business with a view to avoid damaging outcomes from the ongoing legislative process on the Posting of Workers Directive. As you may know, the Posting of Workers Directive is an important piece of legislation at European level. It was from 1996, and it provides a basis, one of the bases for better circulating or a better provision of services across the single market. It is about creating the conditions for, at the same time, service provision, but also ensuring a protection of workers who are posted in different countries. And to do that, there is a rule in this directive which is about ensuring a number of working conditions of the host member states are going to be respected for posted workers during the time, the temporary time, when they are going to be in the host country. Now, this is the state of play. We believe that this provides for conditions to be in adequation with the levels that are in practice and also that are generally applicable in the host country. But on the other hand, there were in the last years incremental political discussions relating to some situations which have been brought forward to the European agenda where the rules on posting of workers were not always respected. But there was a big confusion in this debate. On the one side, there are situations, and that is true, where there is perhaps a lack of enforcement of the existing rules. But on the other hand, what was the outcome of this process was to propose a revision of the Posting of Workers Directive of 1996. We were against this proposed revision because we think the way forward was to ensure a better application of the enforcement directive on posting of workers, which was just approved in 2014 following a long debate in the Council and in the European Parliament. Instead of this, the Commission decided to propose a revision, and now we are at the stage where the Council and the European Parliament are discussing the main provisions of this proposed revision. So your conference today is important. It is important because it's very timely. Both institutions, the Parliament on the 16th of October had a vote in the European Parliament Employment Committee, so it was just yesterday. And on the other hand, there is also ongoing discussions between the Member States in the Council. So I'd like to give you a few key messages around the state of play, where we are, and in particular for us in Business Europe, representing companies of all sizes. It is essential in the debates to come that the needs of all sectors of the economy, in particular relating to long postings, so those postings which are for a duration of 24 months or more, are going to be preserved because many industries in Europe really need access to the skills that posted workers may bring. And also it is an issue of competitiveness for service provision to really bring their contribution to economic growth in our countries. So it is very important that any solution that would be found between the two institutions are going to preserve the capacity for the parties to the agreement in a posting situation to keep the law applicable in the home member states, whatever the rules substantially that would apply. And that is very important because otherwise it may have an impact on lower engagement and lower possibilities for enterprises and the workers to go for posting. And that would be really a negative outcome. So we need to ensure the freedom of the parties for longer postings to define the law that is applicable to posting situations. Now, it is also very important that the proposed wording by the European Commission, which is remuneration, and in the existing directive it is minimum rates of pay, is going to be avoided because minimum rates of pay provides adequate protection to the posted workers. And what is needed is really to understand what it covers. What are those minimum rates of pay? Some progress could be made in that direction. It's also very important to avoid any measure that would make it more difficult for companies to subcontract in the single market. And that is also relating to the posting discussions that are ongoing. And perhaps last but not least, there are debates around what is the legal basis for the Posting of Workers Directive. The European Parliament in particular was proposing to broaden the existing single market legal basis to a social legal basis, and we think it would really be going in the wrong direction because this directive is a single market directive with main purpose, as I said initially, to foster the conditions for more provision of services across the single market, and that should remain the case. I thank you very much for your attention. It was a pleasure to be with you and have the possibility to give you the flavor of the business needs and the business priorities in view of the ongoing debates on a political level between the Council and the European Parliament. I wish you a very fruitful debate and good conference, and I hope that you will be able to take on board some of the points I mentioned to you this morning. Thank you very much, and have a nice conference.